Hey everybody, 8-Bit Josh here, and welcome back to Aurora Park. Alright, so this is a bit of a different video. Actually have a pretty short time lapse here. It's only about 4 minutes and 15 or so seconds long. But I actually have a real-time gameplay at the end of this time lapse, which is a first for this series. If you've been watching it the whole time, you'll know that the entire series so far has been time-lapse footage. And yeah, we're doing had some requests for some like live or real-time gameplay. And so we just kind of do a little overview of the park. We look at it at night. We look at it with some of the new vintage pack camera filters. But yeah, so here actually we're building a new dome, one of the new domes here in Aurora Gardens. And yeah, I wanted to, actually one of the reasons this time lapse is shorter is because I lost like half the footage at the beginning. I'm not sure what happened there, but it just wasn't usable. So that's what we have here. And basically you see me here like kind of readjusting and, you know, trying my best to make the dome look good. Cause I've said this a few times in this series, like the reason I waited to start this area of the park is because I wanted to make sure I had building the domes down. And I think I have it pretty good, but I don't have it perfect. You see here, I make a lot of adjustments. I'm trying to rotate like these spokes, and I can't figure out why it's not rotating on like the center axis. So, you know, it's still definitely, it's not a perfect system. I don't have it down pat, but I think I have it down pretty good to where, you know, I can make it like, see, I'm trying to copy it and it's just not copying on the center axis. And I couldn't figure out why. The other two domes, I had no issues with it whatsoever. And it looks pretty good, but you'll see I actually end up just deleting all of it and starting all over. But yeah, so a lot of this area, the inside of this big dome and then that little dome you see off there, I actually did on a live stream. So, you know, make sure if you're, I've said this, you know, many times, but, you know, make sure you're subscribed. That way when I go live, you'll get those notifications. But yeah, here, see, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to start over and try to make it look a little better. Cause you know, I'm a perfectionist and it takes, you know, I want to make sure it's awesome looking. And the thing with like building these domes is like, you have to, you know, you make these little pieces and you have to do tiny little adjustments as you're going down to make it look like nice and smooth. And I think it turns out pretty good. And this time I actually had it down. So you'll see here, I actually make up the whole dome, and it looks pretty cool doing the spokes. And then yeah, after the or when we get into the real-time gameplay, you'll kind of see the finished product there. But comments from the last episode, there was one says, "Hi, do you have like a tutorial video, or maybe if you could make one? I think you're a great builder and I learned very much from you. You do these little tricks and things that make the build go faster, and I want to learn too." I actually don't have a tutorial video, but it's a pretty good idea. Maybe I'll make one in the future. You never know. But yeah, so this pretty much is going to wrap it up for the time lapse here. So let's go ahead and let's jump into the real-time gameplay. All right, and welcome to the live gameplay. So this is actually a first because so far in this series have not done a real-time kind of gameplay kind of overview thing here. So if you didn't skip the time lapse and you watched it, here is the completed dome, and it's looking pretty good. I think it looks so cool with the vintage pack on the inside and just kind of everything that's going. So, you know, I've had a few people ask, you know, like, hey, you should do like kind of like an overview of the park so far. And I thought that was a pretty good idea. You know, we're, you know, fairly, you know, pretty far along in this series. I think this is episode 15 now. So, you know, we've done quite a bit. I mean, when you look at it from far away, it doesn't look quite as like all that much, but there's a lot of detail in all of the buildings. So I feel like even though there's not much to the park, you know, there's a lot of details going on, and you know, I feel like it makes it interesting to look at, and especially this area. Like, I love how this Smuggler's Run or Smuggler's Den area is looking out. Smuggler's Run is the roller coaster here. But camera getting wonky. I really like the how the monorail station here came out. How it kind of looks old and like sort of pieced together by like, I don't know, just random parts and ship pieces. And you know, I don't know if you watched the episode where we built this, but like I did this little, like there's a little spaceship up here and it's kind of covered by these like little tarps and things. This little like food and drink stand I think is pretty cool looking. It looks futuristic, but like, you know, sort of rustic, I guess. It's the best way to kind of describe it. You know, I've said this before in the series, this area is very much inspired by like kind of the rundown places you see in Star Wars and like Fallout and things like that. So I think this area has turned out pretty well. We got this little kind of hidden restroom building, which is pretty big for just being only having restrooms. I think maybe I intended to put another like little food stand back here, but you know, I don't know why I did that, or why I didn't do that. We got our Smuggler's Run roller coaster with the really cool like kind of landing pad up here with the little spaceship on it. Looks kind of like a little fighter ship. I mean, I guess it is a fighter ship because it's got guns on the front. I mean, it could just be there for defense. Maybe it's some sort of like little cargo thing. Who knows? Really, whatever your imagination wants it to be is what it could be. You know, that's how it is. Imagination. And then let's see. We haven't, it's been a while since we looked in the like Main Street area because, you know, this was probably the first 7 or 8 episodes we built this area. And it's looking pretty good. You know, I think, let's see. So we're going off this way, and you can see a partially created dome there and some spaceships. I haven't decided where I'm going to put them yet. Probably in Smuggler's Den, because I said this area is not complete, but I wanted to start on this area because I was feeling good about making the domes, and I was like, all right, let's just start it. And then, you know, like the vintage pack, I just love the difference and how it looks. And I think it'll look even cooler once the rest of the park has filled out, seeing like all these trees and bushes and everything kind of in there. But yeah, so like if we look in the Main Street area, so we have the Cosmic Swing. It's doing cool. We have our sweet like Cosmic Hotel, which everything over here is sort of based around you know, this ride. So we have the Cosmic Swing, and then the Cosmic Hotel. We have, was there something cosmic in here? Oh yeah, this is the Cosmic Lounge, which we did, which everyone seemed to think was pretty cool. We'll have to do some more kind of, even though they're non-functional, kind of like little, what do you call it? Just designed areas to make it look, you know, make it look cool. I really like this inside of this building a lot. Like we have the entrance to the go-karts up here, which I think is pretty cool. And we come up here and we have like this indoor go-kart track in here, which is pretty sweet, I think. I love the, we use the glass pieces. This is the first time I actually used the glass pieces. Those came out with the Studios pack. And I think it was right about the time that we actually built this go-kart, this whole building. I was like, hey, this would be a perfect spot to use the glass. So this is like this is the queue, you know, where they come in and wait in line for the go-kart tracks, or go-kart track singular. And then let's see. Oh, this is Chief Biff now. It used to be Chief Beef. There was a live stream. We were having fun and talking about, somehow we got onto the Back to the Future, probably because of the Back to the Future DLC. And then we're like, hey, we should call that Chief Biff. So that's what we did, and it stuck, and it will forever be Chief Biff. And then here's the good old, the entrance, the very first episode of Aurora Park, which I think is pretty cool looking. You know, we have the, I moved the kind of guest spawn point. So, you know, that's right there. It's sort of supposed to look like a teleporter. Also, what's going on here? I thought I had... Oh, let me turn the, there we go. Why don't I have an image in there? I thought I have it. Honestly, I don't even remember what sign I would have... Oh, wait, teleporter. Yeah. I don't know why that... There we go. I don't know why that, wasn't there. I must have accidentally removed it, but... Yeah, so this is like our little... It's like entryway into the park, which I think is pretty cool. Super detailed and fun. We have our monorail station, which isn't functional yet because Planet Coaster doesn't have like a shuttle option for the monorail. It can only like go in a circuit. So until we figure out where all the final stations are going to be, it has to stay closed, unfortunately. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You walk over here. We have like our little artificial tree that I made, which I think is, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. But then, yeah, like, you're like, oh, cool, look at these domes. You walk in, it's like, whoa, a trope of gardens. It's like so different. It's so not sci-fi looking. And then, of course, because the vintage pack just came out as I started this area, it was like a perfect fit. Excuse me, people coming through. Whoa. And then you come in here. This is a really large dome. Everything in here, with the exception of like most of the big trees, are from the vintage pack. So all the rides, all the scenery, all the lampposts. Come over here. You got Missy Good, so you want to get your delicious donuts. And you come over here and oh look, we have a little barbershop quartet. And then these letterboxes are from the vintage pack as well. And I was like, oh, you know, it'd be cool to like spell out Aurora for, you know, Aurora Park. And they're cool because they sing the Planet Coaster theme song, but in like barbershop quartet style. And this was actually the first dome that we did. It was actually the last, I believe it was the last episode, yeah. The last, let's see, this dome, the mini dome, and then the inside of this dome, I did on a live stream. So, you know, if you missed that live stream, well, the VOD is up on my channel, but if you missed it, be sure you, you know, you're hitting that subscribe button and you hit the little bell icon. That way, when I do go live, you'll get notified. And it's good fun when you stream. And of course, the best part, really, I mean, the filters. The filters are so fun. I love the sepia tone, adding like a little bit of film grain. Then you kind of do that there. I also added one of the vintage theme songs to this ride. Even though this ride isn't part of the vintage pack, because I actually built this dome before the vintage pack came out. But, you know, it's a pretty classic ride that I think fits with the vintage style anyway. But yeah, it's like, it just looks so cool. You walk out and it's like, it's sci-fi looking, but then it's vintage looking. You walk in and you're like, whoa, that looks so cool. Or we could do, I was kind of messing around with the filter effects here. Like we could do, let's see, let's turn off, turn down film grain. So if we do that, and if we change it to nighttime, it gives it like a very cool classic, like 50s sci-fi vibe. Like that looks pretty sweet. It looks like, I don't know, it just looks like some old like sci-fi movie or something. Or we could even go like, just look at like other areas of the park. See if we can get like a good kind of angle. Like that looks pretty sweet too. And if we like look over this way, oh, looks like a lot of fun. Let's go check out Smuggler's Den. Let's see how that looks. Come on, camera. There you go. I don't know why the camera's moving so slow. So if we like come down here, we're like, whoa, look at that. That looks so cool, right? I mean, oh, whoa, sorry. Camera's being dumb. Or, or I'm just being dumb. But yeah, look at that. How does that look so cool? I think it's so much fun. You can make like, if you wanted to be like really, really creative, you could like make like a little sci-fi movie or something out of this. Like this area. It's so cool looking. Is this ride even open? It's not. Well, look at that. Boom. Now it's open. That was one of the things we did in the last live stream. In case you probably noticed that we actually opened up the park to guests. Turn it back to daytime here. So, yeah, definitely, you know, it makes it feel more lively and, you know, like it's actually a used park now. Which it is, technically. The only thing was like, man, now I actually have to do a little bit of, like, management. Because I had to hire janitors and a mechanic and make sure that our staff are paid well and trained up. Because I didn't want them to quit. But because we're in sandbox mode, we don't have to worry about money. So I just paid all the staff like a ridiculous amount of money. That way they'll just always be happy and not want to quit. But like if we look at the domes, like I think these are a pretty cool little touch, like these little like a little vent system, I guess. So if like we go over here, like maybe it's, I mean, both of these look like they're both going out, I guess, but you know, just sort of like, hey, let's pump some fresh air into the dome. So we have it on that one. We have it on one over here. I didn't put one on the small dome because, I don't know, it's just a small dome. I felt like it didn't really need it. But like we could do, what if we do like, maybe add a little bit more detail to this piece. Do that. Maybe make like little kind of like antenna pieces on here. So maybe like that. Hey, you know, it's always fun to do some building in like real time here. I mean, why not? I mean, why not do it? You know what I mean? And oh, that piece is really big. Trying to look for like another little, that large, small. So we could do something like this or something. Maybe like something like that. I don't know, just to give it like a little bit more detail to these pieces. It's like, I don't know what this piece would be as far as like function wise, but I mean, it's there. It's just there and it looks neat. And then we could do it on this one over here too. And I'm thinking I'll probably, once this area is complete and we have all the domes, I'm probably going to put these domes up on the Steam Workshop. So if you do play Planet Coaster, then you'll be able to download them and use them in your park. There. And then if we just take the, I think we use this one. There. Oh, right there's where we put it. There we go. Again, I don't know. I don't know what it would be used for, but, you know, it could be used for something. We'll just pretend. We'll imagine that it does something. And I'm probably going to do like I made this also in the live stream, this like little custom glass tunnel. Each one of these is so I can just like copy them and place them. Sort of try to make them modular that way. So in between all the domes, I haven't done it here yet. So we'll have like these little glass tunnels that kind of connect them. And then moving forward, what we'll do is, because we have the monorail that comes out this way, so that'll probably come into this dome here. And then I mentioned this a few times before as well. I want to get a roller coaster inside one of the domes. And I was thinking it'd be pretty cool, may have another dome over here, where like the roller coaster starts off in this dome, kind of goes underground and pops up in like another dome over here, or maybe right here. I just put these here as sort of like a just a rough guide. None of that is set in stone. We can adjust as necessary. But I am definitely thinking, even though this dome is pretty large, we're probably going to have one that's even bigger. Because this area right here is actually, like, that's pretty large right there. Like, if you look, just look at the different sizes, you can definitely tell. So this will be a pretty huge dome. This one will probably just copy this dome and move it over. And then maybe we'll have like 3 of this size dome. I don't know. We'll see. It really just depends on, you know, what happens as we're building more of this area. Atropa Gardens, as we're calling it. But yeah, so I think I'm going to just go ahead and leave this part here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little kind of real-time walkthrough of the park and just kind of talking about things and hanging out. Make sure, you know, if you're not subscribed, you're hitting that subscribe button and you're hitting the little bell icon. That way you get notified whenever I post new content. I'm also streaming quite a bit more. I do stream on Saturdays, usually about 12 p.m. Eastern time. Usually I dual stream on YouTube and Twitch, but if you want to check out my Twitch channel, I would also greatly appreciate that, and you can give me a follow over there. It's just twitch.tv/8bit_Josh. So the link is always down in the description as well. So anyway, yeah, thanks so much everybody for hanging out. Be sure to leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. And let's leave you with the Barbershop Quartet. I'll see you guys. Thanks.